Hi and welcome to week 4 of the Magical Readathon O.W.L.s edition. It's Monday, it's the first time I'm actually starting this vlog on Monday. I have just finished work and I have filmed a very exciting video, my May TBR, in which my friends choose my TBR. I hope you'll watch it, I think it's going to be really exciting. And I haven't read anything yet today, but I'm planning on spending my entire afternoon reading. I'm still reading Feminism for the 99%. I have about 30 pages left. It's kind of a post-phase, so it's not even part of the actual manifesto anymore. So I hope to finish that this afternoon, and then I'm going to fully focus on Circe by Madeline Miller. I've read 20 pages of this so far, and I'm very excited to continue on because I'm already kind of hooked by this. I don't know what it is, but I'm just very fascinated, and I think it might be the hype. I just want to know why everybody loves this, but I hope to really get into this afternoon. I had also started an audiobook. I started the audiobook for My Sister the Serial Killer, but it turned out to be one of the books one of my friends recommended to me. So I'm going to stop listening to that right away and I'll start it again in May. So I probably will be finding another audiobook that starts with an M for the herbology prompt. Oh, and I'm reading this for the arithmancy owl and this for the transfiguration owl. And if I finished both of these, I'll have completed all of the owls for my Trader of Magical Tomes career. I keep forgetting the name of that career, but it's Trader of Magical Tomes. So that's all I have to tell you right now. I'm going to read now and I'm very excited about it, so I'll check in with you later. My reading this afternoon is going pretty well because I have just finished Feminism for the 99%, a manifesto. I said in my previous vlog that I was going to talk about this more in depth, but I'm finding it pretty difficult because this is a very intelligent piece of writing and I often have a bit of trouble forming very intelligent thoughts. At least I have the thoughts, I'm just not very good at articulating them. But I did want to quickly talk about this because I think this is a very important manifesto, especially for anyone who identifies as a feminist. It explains why the system of neoliberal feminism is bankrupt, that the idea of emancipating, as in women having jobs as well and women rising to the top, like Hillary Clinton or what's her name, Sheryl Sandberg, something, the lean-in woman, isn't enough. The fact that a female CEO is now running a company that still exploits people, workers, women as well, isn't better than a man running that same exploitative company. And it basically breaks it all down into capitalism needs to go. It argues that sexism, but also racism and other types of isms are so inherent to capitalism that without overthrowing that system or reorganizing that system, to put it a little less aggressively, we will never be able to truly get rid of things like sexism. We will always be needing feminism. Capitalism counts on the fact that women are there to produce new people who will be able to work for them, new labor. They talk about social reproduction and how in capitalism it is always less than profit production. Making profit, making things is more important than making people, but you need people to make a profit, and that contradiction is part of why we are in a crisis. The crisis of capitalism, as the authors of this call it. And it is very broad, it's much bigger than just the idea of equality between men and women, which is what some people see feminism as. It dives very deep into capitalism, and even though it talks about it as a global problem, I did think it was very US focused, which isn't a bad thing because these authors all at least live in the US, are probably American. But I did think at times it could have been made a bit more clear that some things they were talking about were not a problem in the entire Western world, or perhaps not as big a problem in the entire Western world. I also kept wondering, they were talking about capitalism as the big bad, and I agree with them. Capitalism isn't good and it's a bad system for people in general. It's good for the 1%, but the other 99% are suffering from it, I think. But I kept thinking, what would have been the alternative? Because it's not as if capitalism invented sexism and misogyny. Unfortunately, it's been a part of most civilizations and most societies. Women have always been seen as lesser than. So if capitalism hadn't made its way into the world, what would have been the alternative? Would women have been better off? I don't know. There's no way to tell. But that was just something I kept wondering about. They're saying capitalism is bad, it's what's causing women to be oppressed, but women have been oppressed for a very long time before that as well. Lots of thoughts. I don't think I'm making a lot of sense, but I did want to talk about this briefly. I think this is very good. It's a short read, it's only 85 pages. So if you're interested in feminism, if you want to know more about intersectional feminism and feminism for the 99%, or if you're just interested in people having a chance in life, then this is a very good read, I think. So this was the book I read for arithmancy, for my magical shop management class, not for the Trader of Magical Tomes career. And the prompt for the arithmancy class was to read a book outside of your favorite genre, and I read this as part of the non-fiction genre, which I don't read often and isn't my favorite genre at all. I've also decided upon a new audiobook. So like I said, next month I'm reading books that my friends have chosen for me, and my boyfriend has chosen a book that heavily features Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. It may even be kind of a retelling of it, I'm not entirely sure, but because of that I figured I would reread A Midsummer Night's Dream because it's been a long time, and I will listen to it on audiobook, and I think at least for a part of it I will, yikes, this is heavy, read along with it in my complete Shakespeare. I'm going to read that for the herbology prompt, which is to read a book that starts with an M for Mimulus Mimbletonia, and A Midsummer Night's Dream starts with an M as far as I'm concerned, because articles don't count. So I think I'm just going to start doing that because I'm excited about that idea. Just going to listen to it for a while. It's only a little over 2 hours long, I think, and I'm going to read along because the language isn't that easy to listen to, I think. It's about 4:30 on Wednesday. I worked today, I did a workout, and now I'm sitting on the sofa in my sweatpants and sweater. I'm having a bit of a gloomy day, to be honest. I'm a bit grumpy, a bit gloomy, and there's no clear reason for it. There's not a single thing that I'm feeling bad about. It's just, I think the whole situation, and I think everybody's having these days. But like I said, I'm sitting on the sofa. I want to do some reading in Circe. I'm not that far in yet. I haven't really read much for the past couple of days. A few pages here and there, but I'd really like to just sit for at least half an hour and read a considerable amount. This is the last book I need to read for the O.W.L.s, for the career I'm going for anyway, but I kind of still want to read another book. I want to reread The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society because months ago I've been asked to do a podcast on that book, and I said I would reread it, and I still haven't done that. So I kind of want to do that this month as well. And it would also fit for the OWL for Defense Against the Dark Arts. The prompt for which is to read a book that's set at the sea or the coast. And Guernsey is a small island, so that fits. But yeah, I'm just going to read this now. I don't really have that much to update you on, but I figured it had been a while and I just wanted to tell you what I'm doing. I'm just sitting on the sofa. The weather is really nice and I'm just going to take it easy because that's what self-care is, at least part of it. Take good care of yourself, listen to your body, listen to your mind, and my body and mind are telling me to take it easy, just read for a while and relax. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. Welcome to Friday. I haven't vlogged in a few days. I figured it was time to film a clip again. I am still enjoying vlogging, but I've had a bit of a weird week. I've just been feeling a bit more down than I have been lately, and I have been tired. I've not been as productive as I would have liked to be at the start of the week, but I've also not relaxed as much as I thought I needed, as I would have liked. And then I developed something on my lip. It's herpes, let's call a spade, it's herpes. I've had it for my entire life almost, and every now and then I get this big thing on my lip, and it's always been a bit of a source of insecurity. So as soon as it developed for the first time in like a year, I figured, well, that's that with the vlogging. I just didn't really feel like filming myself with this big ugly thing on my lip that a lot of people think is gross. It has nothing to do with grossness, it's just that my immune system is feeling a bit out of whack this week apparently, and when my immune system does that, this happens to my lips. So then I decided that I was going to continue filming anyway, and then I didn't film anything. So here we are. I'm still not feeling great, but it's Friday, it's the afternoon, I'm done working, and that means that I'm now free of work for 11 days. And I've been really waiting for this moment to roll around because I'm just tired. I need a break. I need to relax a bit. I need to do the things I want to do and just do nothing for some time as well. But I still need to unwind a bit, I think, from work today. I think I'm going to read some more of Circe now. I am 150 pages in, I think. Yes, 155 pages in. I'm halfway through the book, and I am absolutely loving this. I had very high expectations for this book, and so far it's not letting me down at all. I am only halfway through, but right now this book is at a 5-star read for me, so that's really cool. I haven't had that many 5-star reads yet this year. I've had a lot of 4 stars, but not that many 5 stars, and I just love Circe. I love her as a character. I love the book. I love getting to know her story more. I have read Mythos by Stephen Fry. I think I read it last year or maybe the year before, and that was my first real dive into Greek mythology. I learned a lot about all of the gods then. I've also read Heroes, which is his book about the heroes. So Jason and Theseus and those guys, and they are also in here. So it's fun to have that moment of recognition, to see these characters or these gods that I've read a lot about and see them in a novel now. But I don't know that much about Circe because Stephen Fry hasn't written his book about the Odyssey yet, so I'm still waiting on that. So it's partly recognition and partly a new story for me. I'm just waiting to see what will happen next, which is a really nice combination, especially since I've been feeling a little bit down. It's just been a very soothing book, even though very cruel things happen as well. I just really enjoy Circe's distance from it all, reading about her perspective on everything that happens, both in the human, the mortal side of it all. She doesn't feel part of that because she isn't mortal, but also on the side of the gods, where she doesn't feel like she belongs either. She's on her own. she's on her island where she feels most at peace, but that's starting to crumble a bit now as well in the story. And I like how sharp she is, how smart she is, and her perspective on things. I'm just really enjoying this. I really wanted to keep reading yesterday evening, but I had to go to bed. So now I'm just going to sit here on the sofa for a while, I think, and read some more. Tonight, I think I'm going to watch The Princess Diaries 2, because I watched the first film last week, and I'm really in the mood for some more Mia Thermopolis Genovia shenanigans. It's 10 o'clock and I have just finished Circe by Madeline Miller. This is still a 5-star read, a very convincing 5-star read. I absolutely adored this and I'm so happy I finally read it. Where to start? I adored Circe as a main character. I think she goes through some amazing character development, and considering that she is a god, a Greek god, that's really cool because they don't usually go through that much development, I think. I was pleasantly surprised by how feminist this novel is. Maybe I shouldn't have been, but it was a good surprise, so that's fine. The amount of female rage in this book was refreshing for some reason. I really enjoyed that. I loved how Circe lays bare the sexism and the misogyny in the world and in the Greek world, the world of Greek mythology as well. What I like is that Circe's anger and her feminism isn't all that in your face. It's just part of the story and very naturally and organically so. She talks about the differences between sons and daughters, and she talks about how men can be completely cruel towards women once they know there isn't another man around. They just think they can do what they want with a woman. In some cases that's still true. That wasn't just true a long time ago, but it's still how a lot of men think and how our society is structured. But I'm not here to go into a feminist rant. I'm here to talk about this book. So that was an aspect I really loved. I'm not explaining it all that well, but I haven't gotten the quotes ready that I marked down, and I'm a bit tired, so this is what you're gonna get. Something I also really loved is the descriptions of nature in this book. Circe lives on her island, and the seasons pass, and the island changes with that. At one point she says that mortals always describe nature as being the same, as the one thing you can depend upon to always be there and be constant, but she herself thinks that nature is the one thing that's ever changing. And the descriptions of nature and the cadence in which these descriptions are written are just beautiful to me. They're very artful, and I kept being astonished by that, and yeah, it was just wonderful. I also think the pacing of this book is exactly right. I know some people said that they felt this was a bit slow paced, but considering the fact that it spans centuries, I think the pacing was perfect. At some point, it is a bit. Some people would describe it as slow, but I would describe it as being similar to waves rolling in and out, I guess, which is an image that returns a lot in this book as well. A lot does happen in this book plot-wise. By the end, I'd almost forgotten things that happened at the beginning because, like I said, it spans several centuries worth of stuff, and a lot can happen in hundreds of years. So the pacing felt completely natural to me, and I really enjoyed that it wasn't always that fast-paced, but I was just completely invested in the story, in Cersei as a character, and some of the other characters. I loved it. That's all there is to it. I love this. And with this, I have also now completed all of the O.W.L.s I needed for my career for trader of magical tomes. I keep forgetting my career, but it's a trader of magical tomes. I've read all of the books for that, so now I can continue pursuing this career during the Newt's Magical Readathon in August, I think. And there is still one more book I want to read before the month is over, and that is The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. I always have to check that title because it is a long and confusing one. This will be a reread for me, but I want to read this for Defense Against the Dark Arts. I have 4 days to read this. I do have a lot of time to read, so hopefully I'll manage to do it. We'll see. I'm just going to give it a try. But for now, I'm going to end this vlog. Thanks for watching. I hope your reading is going well. I hope you're doing well. Please like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to see more of my content. And I hope to see you in the next vlog, which will be the last one for the O.W.L.s. Have a wonderful day. Bye!